Okay, hello HDFS 101 students. Let's talk through the two simulations in this class, the My Virtual Child or MVC simulation and the My Virtual Life Adult or MVL simulation. These slides that I'm about to go over are drawn directly from the assignment guidelines, so please refer to those for more details. This is just an overview. Okay, so in the MVC simulation, you're going to have a baby and you're going to parent that virtual child from birth through adolescence. Initially, you're going to answer some demographic and personality questions. Once your virtual baby is born, you will make decisions about parenting your child, and you'll also get to see the effects of your parenting decisions over time. There are no points assigned for the quality of your parenting decisions. There's no wrong answer that's going to hurt you. So you may opt to parent poorly just to observe the long-term effects. Okay, so a quick overview of the My Virtual Child or MVC simulation. So you access it in Pearson Revel. So you'll go through the modules on the left sidebar or the Revel link on the course homepage to get into it. We are estimating that it's going to take you about 15 hours to complete this, along with our short answer form. So what you're going to be doing is answering the multiple choice questions in the simulation, and that counts for 20 points. And then you're going to be completing our short answer form with 10 questions, and that counts for 30 points. So this is a point of confusion. There are short answer questions in the simulation in Revel. You do not have to answer those. You only have to answer the multiple choice questions in the simulation, and you answer the short answer questions on our form with 10 questions. We are going to be requiring you to use and cite the MVC simulation in all 10 responses, and then in a little over half of those you're also going to have to use and cite either the lecture or the text material. Just a couple more notes. If you complete only the simulation, we would give you those points, or if you complete half the simulation, we would give you half the points for the simulation, so you'd get 10 points, for example. We prorate based on the percentage that you complete. The My Virtual Child simulation is time consuming. There's about 300 screens in it. So I think it itself takes 8 to 10 hours, and then you might need, some extra hours to complete all of the short answer. So based on the 30 points that we give you for the short answers, this is how we break it down, and this should match what you can see in the rubric in the assignment Dropbox as well. So you can see we give you points for just having a response for each of our questions, then for meeting our length requirement, meeting our depth requirement. We give you points for writing style. Keep in mind we only allow one direct quote, something taken word for word and put it in quotation marks from the simulation, the textbook, or the lecture material. After that, we're assuming that you're taking material from the simulation, the lecture, or the textbook, but you're putting it in your own words and citing it, not taking it word for word and quoting it. Then we are expecting you to cite the simulation in every single response, so pull details, cite it. And then in most of the responses, you're also required to cite either the lecture or the textbook as well. And then we give you some points for just having your citations in APA format. And you can see guidance for how to do your citations in the short answer, the My Virtual Child short answer and simulation guidelines, the official PDF. So the My Virtual Life Adult simulation or MVL, again, review those guidelines for more details. This is basically the exact same format as the My Virtual Child, but it's much shorter. So the adult simulation is about, we're going to say that's about a third to a little bit more of the effort that you're going to put in for the My Virtual Child simulation. We estimate that instead of 15 hours, we're estimating that to be around 6 hours perhaps with the short answer. We do have age recommendations that you complete in the schedule, but again, we don't check it until the deadline. It's a smaller points assignment, so it's only 35 points. You get 15 points for completing 100% of the simulation, and again, we'd prorate that. If you did half of it, you'd get 7.5 points in that area. And then you get 20 points for completing the MVL short answer questions. Instead of 12, as we have in the My Virtual Child, we only have 8. It's still the short answer form on Canvas. You're going to, again, cite the MVL simulation in all 12, and then you're going to use and cite lecture in as many as the questions require, which is a lot of the questions. So the points here are organized in the same way as the My Virtual Child short answers, just less points because you have less questions. Okay, so in all of academia, when you're writing, all ideas that aren't your own, you should be giving credit for. They need a citation. Even if you're putting it in your own words, you still have to give credit for the idea. So any material you take from the MVC or MVL simulation should be summarized and cited in each response. The lecture or textbook is cited if the question asks you to. And so here's how you cite the textbook in APA format, say Arnett and Jensen. You have the year that it was published, and then we are asking, and this is not APA, but we're asking so that we know as your graders which chapter you pulled it from. So we're asking you to include that. Similarly, in citing my lecture, you use my last name, then you put the calendar year, basically the year you're taking the class, and then again the chapter so that we can find the material that you're referencing. APA wouldn't normally have you include the chapter number. And for the simulation, you can either cite MVL or MVC simulation, and then again, the calendar year, the year that you're taking the class. Okay, how can you avoid plagiarism? So first, in general, this is again, all academic writing. If you take more than 3 consecutive words verbatim from another source, my PowerPoint slides, the textbook, the simulation, you should be using quotation marks on either side of that. That says that these aren't your words, you're taking them from someone else, and then you're still citing. When you are using ideas from the simulation, the lecture, the textbook, put it in your own words, and then still give credit for the idea with an in-text citation, but you don't need quotation marks. We're not allowing the use of AI or artificial intelligence for wording or ideas. Of course, you can use spelling and grammar check. And please don't use your friend's assignment from a current or previous semester. Those are all in Turnitin, and then that's going to come up as plagiarism. All right, to close, I'll just put in a little plug for coming to my Zoom office hours. The sign up for a 15-minute slot is available on Canvas. And during the weeks that assignments are due, the GTA will also be holding office hours so that you can pop in there as well. Bring a draft before the due date of what you've got written, and we'll look it over, we'll compare it to the rubric, and we'll really help raise your score in a very short amount of time. You won't regret it. Hope to see you there.